Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. In this module, you will learn about music and brain. I hope that at the end of this module, you will be able to describe sound characteristic, to describe the human auditory system, to describe model indicates processing of music perception, and to describe music and brain structure and functions. When you hear music, what is music? What comes across your mind? I think you will say, is music entertaining people? Music involves the manipulation of sound or combining sound harmoniously and expressively, thus the listener can perceive it pleasantly. Music can be classified into genre or can be distinguished from the musical form and style such as pop, dance, disco, techno, rock, etc. Music involves auditory system to process music perception, whereby the auditory system encodes and retains the sounds of music's information. There are few key elements that will come across on the mind when people ask about music. To process music perception, the auditory system is involved. To process of music perception involves the auditory system and how the auditory system encodes and holds the sound's information. The music perception is influenced by how the auditory system encodes and holds the sound information. As we know, music involves sound manipulation. What is sound? Sound is a vibration that typically propagates as an audible wave of pressure through a transmission medium such as air, water, solid. Sound is the reception of such waves and their perception by the brain. Human sound or frequency range is 20 to 20 kilohertz. Sound is an energy form made by the vibration that make us hear. Sounds travel as a wave. Sound wave can be described by few characteristics such as wavelength, amplitude, time period, frequency, and speed of wave. What is wavelength? Wavelength is the length of one complete wave. Wavelength is the size of the wave. It is measured from one peak to the next peak. From one peak to the next peak. The SI unit for measuring wavelength is meter. What is amplitude? Amplitude is the size of the sound or vibration. Amplitude determines how loud the sound is, how loud the music is. The larger the amplitude, the larger the vibration, the louder the sound. While the smaller the amplitude, the softer the sound, the lower the volume. So for amplitude depends on the size of the sound. How about time period? Time period is the time required to process one complete wave or vibration or one complete cycle. How about frequency? Frequency is the number of vibration per second or number of complete wave or cycle in 1 second. Actually, frequency determines the pitch of the sound. It is very useful for the sounds of the musical. The unit of frequency measurement is hertz. 1 hertz frequency means 1 wave cycle per second. 4 hertz frequency means 4 wave cycles per second. 14 hertz of frequencies means 14 wave cycles per second. Next, what is speed of sound or speed of wave? Speed of sound also calls the velocity of wave or sound. It is the distance traveled by vibration or wave in 1 second. It is represented by the letter V. The SI unit is meter per second. A minute ago, we learned about sound characteristic. How about the sounds of music characteristic or properties? Music is part of the sound. Music involves the manipulation of sound in time. Music sound can be described by few properties or characteristics such as pitch or frequency, dynamic, timbre, articulation, and duration. What is pitch? When we look back at the sound's property, the pitch is related to frequency or number of vibration of musical sounds in 1 second. The faster the vibration, the higher the pitch. The slower the vibration, the lower the pitch. In general, the smaller the vibrating object, the faster its vibrations and the higher its pitch. All other things being equal, plucking a short string produces a higher pitch than plucking a long string. The relatively short strings of a violin produce higher pitches than do the longer strings of a double bass. For dynamic, dynamic is the degrees of loudness or softness in music, whereby dynamic is related to the amplitude, which is the amplitude of vibration produces sound. In music, a gradual increase in loudness often creates excitement. A gradual decrease in loudness often used to bring a calm sense. In music, timbre, also known as tone color or tone quality, it distinguishes different types of sound production and musical instrument. Timbre differentiates two sounds in the same frequency or same note. For example, although two instruments such as a guitar and a keyboard playing the same note, the sound or tone comes from a guitar has a different sound or tone from a keyboard. This means that these instruments have different timbres. In music, articulation is a fundamental music parameter which refers to how sound change over time. It is also referred to as envelopes of sound or shapes of sound. This transition of sounds can range from obvious attack followed with a short decay, long sustain, and obvious long release. In music, the combination of articulation helps to evoke emotions or lift your mood or feeling. It's just like when we are speaking or tell a story. Imagine you are wishing your best friend happy birthday. You will pronounce those words with tenderness and with a happy mood. While for duration, according to Benwood and Sacker 2003, duration is the length of time or pitch or tone is sounded, how long a sound or tone lasts,